their mom was like, do you believe in Satanism? Satanism being his femininity. Gay people, let me not say gay people, queer people, marginalized people are adultified so quickly and sexualized very quickly. Like what are you doing?
You know what I think is really interesting that happens a lot that I wanna say so that people are able to identify it. It's, I don't know if you've realized how men eat bananas.
Yes.
Where they open the banana. They never just eat the banana.
And then
it's
they pull it out.
And it's like, you're eating a banana.
Like, there is nothing sexual about
Why are you
eating.
so freaked out? Like, even Kevin Gates isn't this freaked out.
Good afternoon, my bright stars. It is I, Lethabo Maluke, the brightest star, the host of your favorite podcast, Young, Popular, and Opinionated. In the words of the artist Dean Hutton, this is a podcast that creates soft spaces for hard conversations. And you know what I always say? What's harder than today's conversation? All of them are hard. But today I am not alone. I am with our first guest and my bestie, Bandile Nzuza. Hey bestie, how you doing?
Hi Lee. Hi everyone. I'm actually doing good.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. Love the setup.
Thank you. Guys, for a little context, we've had some backlog trying to get guests in here because I really, really needed Bandile to be our first guest. Not only because he's my best friend, but because I wanted to really try out the whole guest thing and talking to someone I feel comfortable having intellectual conversations with. I wanted this episode to set the tone for that so that our future guests could see how we conduct ourselves, how I just want them to get really comfortable. We're not really in the mood to catch anyone out, set anyone up. I just want us to have a very open and honest conversation. And who better to do it than my bestie? So I'm really glad that you are here today. You don't understand how happy I am. That is you. Oh my God.
Thank you for having me.
I am so tired of talking.
Talking to yourself.
Talking to myself.
You do it for a while.
Yes,
yeah.
I mean, I've been doing it for 2 years now, right? Talking to myself on TikTok. But I can quickly get out of my room, engage in the comments, but this isn't the same because
it's an organic conversation.
Yes, it
in
takes
a soft space.
Exactly.
Like you said.
Exactly. You see?
Right.
So that's what I'm saying.
You've got this.
Okay, so for our guests, I just want you to give a bit of background on yourself, what you're currently doing, how old you are, just in a very comfortable pace. Don't share what you don't want to share. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm 22, obviously. I'm a year older than him, so, that kind of helps sometimes. I'm obviously studying at Tux. I am a law student by day and by night because, it's taking my time.
Exactly. A law student by day, by night, the afternoon, the weekend, the public holiday,
every
Christmas,
second of the
Easter.
Day. Even in the shower.
Exactly.
What was that statute? I'm telling you.
Exactly.
And I also work. I currently work with my dad, some of the family businesses, and I also work for this non-profit organization. We deal with mental health for queer youth and making mental health accessible and affordable for everyone. So we have chatbots and all these different things. And I also work on an advisory panel. So I'm kind of busy.
Very busy.
And while I'm here today.
Yes, thank you for making the time, which is fantastic because when I was starting the guest segment, when I had it in mind, I wanted to break them up. Obviously, as time goes by, I will figure the rest of it out. But I wanted to have something called Queer Diaries, and I think you were the first person I told about this idea.
Yeah,
and it was literally inspired by the book called They Call Me Queer, which is a compilation of queer South African stories. It was compiled by Kim Winvigel.
That's the one you bought in the airport?
Yeah, no, I didn't buy it at the airport. I bought it. The Roman's Pizza on Burnett Street?
Right.
There's a bookstore right across from it.
Oh, yes.
Hidden under these
trees.
trees.
Something. It's
like an Afrikaans bookstore. Yeah. So I went in there and I'm going to be honest. Whenever I go in there, I always come up with a book that changes my life because they stock up on everything, from fiction to nonfiction. And I even got my favorite Zakes book from there. It's called Rachel's Blue. And essentially, this book, trigger warning, mentions of sexual violence and rape. This book details the story of a middle-class family that works in the neighborhoods like home, community center, and most of their money comes from farming for themselves and selling things, pawning things. And unfortunately, Rachel, the daughter, gets assaulted by a trusted friend, family friend. But because of his position in society, coming from a wealthier background, he fights for the right to keep the baby. Even though she wrestled with feelings of, do I keep a baby who's a reminder of my assault? Right. Once she's dealt with that...
So essentially exercising her choice.
Exactly. And then when she decides to keep it, the baby is still taken from her. Insane.
So she's been robbed of like her autonomy, twice?
Exactly. And then obviously this incredible book, which I recently purchased. Mind you, I was trying to buy a separate book, which was also queer. It was detailed more on queer African women's experiences. And I pulled this one by accident, but it's fine because I got the other one later too.
It was a good read.
Good read. I mean, I read it on the way here. It's literally in my bag.
Exactly.
I keep rereading it because it's not like your typical novel. It's short story. So
that like makes it's like bite-sized pieces.
Yeah, so if I feel called to read something
for the kids.
Exactly. if you need an EpiPen after touching a book, this is for you. So if I feel exactly.
Yeah. Intellectualism. Come on.
Dead. So if I feel called to like revisit a specific story, because I think that's what I've been in the mood for.
Ruminating on.
Yeah, like specific stories. I'll go back and then read. So that's what inspired the segment, because I think it's very powerful to allow queer people to have the space to talk about whatever they want. Firstly, because secondly, I think people always tell stories of our trauma, but even when they do, it's to profit off of it.
It's almost like a queer industrial like complex. It's all about essentially making money and like it's weird because it doesn't allow for, I guess, like certain stories to be told.
Exactly. Some of them are too traumatic,
right? And then some of them are not traumatic enough.
Exactly, it's too traumatic.
Which is crazy that like that's become a normal thing that like you need to be like, oh, I was scared. Like,
I need to prove to you as like a viewer,
it makes no sense.
Whatever, that I truly am traumatized. Like I went through something so bad.
And not to trivialize it, but it's just that like sometimes you don't need to go to something in order to be enlightened.
Yeah, also,
or at least that's what I think.
And also, in my opinion, if a queer person was simply called a slur and they can't sleep from that point onwards, that's enough. That's enough.
It really is enough.
That's enough.
Because I don't want to. Guess what? It's a slur.
Like I need them. Like I don't want to hear. At least you're alive. Yeah, it compromised the quality of life you're afforded from that point onwards. Exactly. So I don't want to hear it. But anyway, we're going on with this book.
So I guess welcome to Queer Diaries.
Welcome to Queer Diaries. I think we've set the tone what it's about.
We really have.
Because even in the book, right, it tells stories of heartbreak, of lust, of love, of hope, of sadness. So I just want that.
The Green Lantern book of emotions, essentially.
Exactly.
The whole spectrum.
Like I really love the fact that, there was nothing that was too inappropriate to share, because I think the layers of shame as they pertain to queer people are so layered. You have to feel ashamed for, who you desire, how you desire, what you wear, how you walk, how you talk. So I was like bored.
It's essentially like a shame party, actually. And it's crazy because it starts very young.
Exactly.
So it's like, it's weird to like internalize shame and then like grow up in it, because it's so weird because it's like it's there but like no one's telling you it's there, so it's like until someone says something that's like, am I cooked, or like you know,
because like Dr. Lwando Scott's short story is like literally about how they knew how they felt about their desire towards other men, but didn't realize it was a bad thing until they were taking a walk to the taxi rank with their aunt and their mom, and then their mom was like, do you believe in Satanism? Satanism being his femininity. And obviously their mother is like, this is my child. And then an outside voice now likens the way you are to Satanism. The rest of your life is affected. You think to yourself, I mean, that's like one of the closest relationships you can have with someone. And it's like for them to kind of tell you that like who you are as a person is wrong. Because I think I relate to that heavily, because I think I came out in like very small steps. First to myself, then to my best friend, and then to like I don't know, a group of people at school via my WhatsApp status because I was just so tired.
In boarding school.
Because I was so tired of the rumors.
Yeah, I mean, I can relate to
I was so tired of the rumors. It was like, oh, can we just... Yes, okay, it's true.
You took,
all the rumors are true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
I do. Yeah.
What do you think I do? Yeah.
Because guess what?
I do. Now what?
So, what now?
And then it was like, okay for me to tell my mom because I felt like, because in my head, the biggest obstacle was an all-boys Catholic school. That was my biggest obstacle. Little did I know that the biggest obstacle would literally be a family member the following year. And they would literally say all these...
You know, I want to say a Zulu word, but I don't know if you're okay with me.
Oh, you can say it. We all know.
Oh, abazali. Yo. Like, let's kind of get it together. That was actually crazy, though.
It was so crazy. You know what she said? It was like, we had gone to like a pipe band gathering. So it was my aunt, my mom, my grandmother. And then we came back, right? The drive back was weird for me.
This isn't funny, by the way.
It's not funny at all. But
here we are laughing.
The drive back was a very terrible one for me because I was like staring out the window. Because at the time...
Teen melancholy.
Yes, you know when you're... And I was like touching
the
window
and
like...
It's like
and it's because at the time I was crushing on this one boy, and it was so like it was
I know
so
who this is.
No, you don't actually. It was so draining. It was so draining.
All crushes are draining.
All of them are draining, but this one was even worse. And so when I got home, we're sitting down in the living room watching TV, and she's like, you know, we're like good, and she's like, you know that Nini Leaks meme? I have so many good friends that I don't even know.
I have so many good friends that I didn't even know about. Thank you. And then she grabs the mic.
And she's like, she walks in, she's like, you know, we have so many good relatives that we don't know about, but they keep secrets from us. And we're all like, oh. We're like, oh.
But it's like...
So obviously I'm 15 at the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this big family secret? Okay. Whose father isn't their actual father? Whatever. And it's like, isn't that right, Tabo? And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, oh, how?
Like,
what have I done?
What did I do?
And she's like, you know, your Instagram knows, your friends know. And I'm like, oh my God, what the hell did I just do?
Like, did you?
I'm like, what the hell did I just do? Oh my God. I'm like, what did I do? Oh my God, this is so bad. And then she's like, you told people that like the past year was hell for you because, and I'm like, okay. And you were wrestling with suicidal ideation. And I'm like, okay, get to it, my sister. Like this isn't you. And you struggled with eating. I'm like, I'll get to that. I'm like, you're
next.
But why did you tell Instagram that you were gay and you didn't tell us? Oh,
okay. So hold on. Just to recap, suicidal ideation, check. That's not that big of a deal.
Eating disorder,
having an issue with your body and eating, check.
Still
not a big deal.
Not an issue.
But telling people you're gay
on Instagram is where we draw the line, and it just made, I think,
that's very dense, by the way.
So dense.
Very dense.
Hade, if she sees this, Hade, whatever.
Vibes.
It's my story. It's my story. I blew it. That's just my story, right?
Yeah.
And so, with that being said, it just set this very strange tone because she said, you know the usual shtick, like gay people are going to hell.
Liadi hele. No, but it's not, and it's not funny. You know, we laugh because it's laughable, but it really isn't funny. Like, that was kind of crazy to look at, like, two people having a consensual, two consenting adults having a moment,
an intimate moment in public transport, and they're allowed to.
You know, it was how visceral the reaction is,
and also it like the kiss happened, it goes silent, it pans,
and then it pans to her, like they knew she was gonna do something. But I mean, in all seriousness, I think that really speaks to South Africa's climate, though. When it's
and also how people cannot hold it. Like, oh my gosh.
No, they really can't.
Anytime is tea time.
Like, y'all did not learn when your parents said if you don't have anything nice to say,
don't say
anything at all, because a lot of y'all dance. And that's the word.
After she said that, then she's like, all gay people get AIDS. And then
I've heard that too.
And then after saying that, she's like, all gay people get anal prolapse. You're going to be wearing adult diapers by 30. And I was like, whoa.
Oh, wow.
I was like, whoa, girl. I was like, whoa.
Mind you, you're a 15-year-old at that.
Who is not engaging in any sort of sexual
at
activity.
all. And it's like, I don't think that's how you want to be ushered into.
But this is why
talking about sexual health.
But this is also why it ties into today's topic so quickly. I mean, so well, not me saying quickly, so beautifully, is because I think gay people, let me not say gay people, queer people, marginalized people are adultified so quickly and sexualized very quickly. Like, before you understand the concept of sexuality, attraction, how you want to express yourself,
you're
your gender
expected
identity,
to exist as a sexual being.
You're already a sexual being. And it's like, I'm 15. Which is also why
I'm a child.
Which is also why sometimes when certain queer kids feel in a rush to like put themselves out there sexually, I'm like, I'm not surprised, because you've told them that their existence as queer people is nothing but sex. So why do you think
and demonize it as well? So
exactly.
It's like when you have like resentment and stuff, you obviously want to be like, oh, so this is what I'm going to do. Well, I'm obviously going to go do it.
Some of them do it as an act of rebellion. Have you watched Queer as Folk?
Yes, I have.
You know how like Justin in that sit down session with his mom, with the therapist, he's like, I don't think I'm allowed to say that. But you know exactly what I'm referring to. Yeah. And he describes how he loves all these sexual acts with other men as a way to spite his parents. Yeah. And also at the time, he had just had one sexual encounter.
Yep.
So, and that
I think it's funny because he inflated it the same way like people inflate
exactly
sex
how
whenever
a
it comes to
homophobe
queer people,
would describe
period.
it. How a homophobe would describe it to you, what you do, making
the only thing is that he made it uncomfortable for them, as opposed to being uncomfortable for him.
It reminds me of this one instance where this one bully in high school was like doing the same thing to me, like, oh my gosh, like, you want to lay with other men, and I was like, no, I don't.
I won't lie. He sounds pretty intelligent for a bully. Lay with other men,
right? I said I don't want to lay with other men. I want to lay with your dad.
But you know what? Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's not funny.
Not literally, though.
No one is laughing anymore. Everyone's like,
now it's
everyone's like, no.
When you stop being the butt of the joke, now it's mean.
And I'm like, do you see what I'm saying? You're uncomfortable. Now imagine the person who's been the butt or at the center of the joke has felt the entire time.
And it's like you're isolated. So it's like your discomfort can't even really be, and it can't really be acknowledged by other people because other people don't care or they contribute to the discomfort.
That's what I'm saying. You've been okay with this discomfort.
Yeah, it's fine making the jokes.
The whole time. But when I suddenly attribute
it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm just like, you see, and then and I really hate the fact that we have to resort to, I guess, stooping to their level or acting exactly as they act for them to finally get it. Yeah. Right? Because obviously the topic for today is, as you've seen probably from the title, the thumbnail, the description, desirability in the queer community and sexual boundaries in digital spaces.
Yes.
I think when your ideas of yourself have been so aggressive, that's, I don't know. You also only leave room for that too, in like how people desire you, how you want to desire them.
I think it kind of like forces you to make it everything that you stand for because you're consistently being told that like it's what you know what I mean? Like it's what you are. So like it gets to a point where it's like, subconsciously you might not know it, but it's like you start to think maybe they are right, like maybe there is a point in all of this. And also it's kind of just like if every single time my queerness comes up and it's like it's never about how I express myself or
how I speak,
even how I choose to educate myself and my interests, but more so just like, oh, when you have sex you go AB, like,
and it's like
it really gets to a point where it's like, oh, okay, well, sex like it comes in the one ear and doesn't come out the other.
It stays because No human beings are constantly having sex. No two human beings.
It's actually biologically impossible
to do that. You'll actually die. Don't rats have sex? I mean, don't rats have sex to the point of death?
They do.
They do, right?
They do.
They do, right?
They do.
Yes.
But that's also because it's a part of their evolution.
Yeah.
Humans don't have no business doing that.
Yeah, we've evolved past that. We're not rats. You're not a rat.
But it's crazy because we haven't evolved past homophobia.
What did Rihanna say? A rat is a rat.
No, stop.
A rat
Shanice. No. Let's. Okay, no, back to desirability.
And so because the thing is with me, right? Because the thing is, we all know that gay South African people interact heavily with gay Americans, especially on platforms like Twitter, right?
But I think that's also just because of like globalization.
Yeah. That's like,
and I guess their queer scene is a bit more developed.
It's more developed, right? Where
there's like proper avenues there, like solely just based on being queer. There's a lot that you can do because of that. Whereas like here, it's like
we're still establishing.
You have ladies telling you cease in a taxi.
We are still having queer-led podcasts where people are not shying away.
But shout out to you for that.
To talk about queer issues.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like we still live in a country where, I don't know.
It's okay to be gay in terms of the Constitution, just not in terms of society.
The law will protect you as far as it gets.
Yeah.
Also, on that note, guys, I was a research participant and contributed to a master's dissertation. Right?
Oh yeah, you did.
I did. Yeah. For Cambridge University in England. Oh my God.
Exactly.
And the dissertation is called Constitutionally Queer. I think I've put it in one of my
I don't know if it's an author, what it's called. Was he South African? So what's the context?
The author is a queer South African.
Oh, okay.
ZK Douglas. You should check them out. I've put it in one of my highlights and I can send it to you via PDF. If need be.
Also, if you know how to use the internet, you can find it.
Yes.
And if you're on this podcast watching right now,
you know how to use the internet. Yeah, I think it gives you such a beautiful understanding of how the Constitution, even though on paper protects queer people, but how it's failing us and what it took to get us that Constitution. So please check it out. I think it's
have a read.
Such a beautiful read. Yes.
But we need the kids to read.
But back to desirability.
Yes.
When I first was coming to terms, before I get into that, back to the Americans, right? Their queer scene is more developed, right? Where I think sexual liberation, I don't think is a bad thing at all. Obviously, heterosexual people can talk about their sex lives openly, but, a lot of South African queers, even like if a queer sex scene comes on TV, you do this. You look away. Yeah. You look up and down.
There's that weird internal.
It's like that.
It's that internal shame.
Is that your people?
Yeah.
Because
because it's so weird. Because it's like when you're sitting in a class and like there's maybe 5-10 black guys there, and then like the topic today is
racism,
apartheid, and everyone's
slavery,
just like,
and then they all look at the black.
It literally feels like that.
Like
right?
this one time when our history teacher said the N word for educational purposes, and then all the white kids. After break, we're like, oh, can we say it too?
For educational purposes.
And I'm like, there are no educational purposes to use.
But no one's being educated. I think that's the... Well.
Anyway, so they are more comfortable talking about it with no shame, whereas I still think we're in that phase where, they do it too. But that anger, right, as an expression of it, is still where a lot of us are at. Because I remember... when I first started trying to talk to boys, because fine, you've established that you like the same sex, perfect, great for you. But now
into practice.
But now you have to put theory to practice, right? And you have to start learning how to navigate the dating world. I didn't know what to say. I was
queer
like,
dating world.
Yes, I'm like, how do you make yourself interesting enough romantically? Mind you, I'm 15. What was I stressing myself?
Younger.
I'm like, how do I position myself to be interesting romantically? Like, what is like a sexual thing to say? And it's like, I don't know what I'm doing. So then I follow someone, they follow me back, and how I slide into their DMs, obviously it was fine, we started talking, but how I thought was to make it interesting was to send them a sexual meme. And like, it made them uncomfortable, right?
But rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
And then it made me uncomfortable because
that's not you.
Downloading it, screenshotting it, I don't know what I'm doing. But like how I'm seeing people, or at least what I'm told about how people interact with each other who are queer, it's just very aggressively like sexual. Like it's aggressively sexual. Like,
I think it's really sad though, because in that moment you're also like actively trying to seek out companionship, and it's like, it's, you know, it's sad that like the only way you feel you can do that is by being sexual. But then again, I think it's also just because, again, whenever we talk about queerness, especially non-queer people, it always ends up becoming about sex.
Exactly.
It's in the media.
It's in the songs.
It's in the books the kids barely read.
It's in the politicians because they...
Oh, yeah.
You know, I want to say something, and I think I said this to you in a voice note. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't.
No, yeah, you probably have.
But I feel like... I feel like more people, I've said, would be comfortable watching queer sex happen versus watching two queer people holding hands in public. And I stand by that.
Yes.
And I stand by that. I stand by that.
Because, but I think it's also because of the culture that's been fostered and created, right? Oh Lord.
Oh, God.
There is a lot to say.
There's a lot
but
to
no,
say.
yeah, I think it's also just because when you when you remove anything that makes the interaction negative, it becomes harder to demonize queerness in general. So
exactly.
It's like you'd rather, because, and I think this also just speaks to a greater conversation about how there's still a lot of shame pertaining to just sex, period, right? Even with heterosexual couples, especially like women, for example.
Exactly.
You know, and so it's like, if all we ever do is talk about how you bend over and do this, and like that's all your interaction amounts to, then it's easy for us to not humanize you as a person. Because it's like, who are you?
How are you gonna sit up there and let another man bend
you over? Ain't nobody bending me over. And again, Janet Jackson, and it's like, thank you, but it's not funny.
And it's like, who's doing the bending? Like that's it.
Because that's also another thing people don't have boundaries with. Is like, I think. The weird thing about queerness is that the only time people want you to be comfortable with discussing queerness is when you're discussing your sex life, because it's the only time they ever want to hear something that's like, oh my God, are you a top or a bottom? I don't know you.
I don't know.
Who are you?
I don't
know. Who
know.
raised you?
My sister, what are we talking about right now? Like,
what happened to hello?
What about the economy? Like...
The political what of the world? Like,
what about the social?
Right.
Like
there are bigger things at hand here.
But also the intimacy. This is what's so funny. I think also intimacy is reserved for heterosexual people, right? Because think about it.
Yeah. And just to clarify, when you say intimacy, you don't like.
I'm not talking about sex.
Just sex. Like,
I don't think sex is the most,
I guess the feeling of closeness,
the feeling of
someone,
compassion,
you know,
that you feel for someone else, the urge to hold their hand, the urge to get lost in their eyes, lost in their entire being,
just putting your hands through their hair.
Yeah, just
simple stuff like
that. The intimacy of sharing a meal, sharing a laugh. I think the sacredness of that intimacy is reserved for heterosexual people, because obviously I've discussed at large that like they don't see us as anything more than sexual beings, and even that sexual being, I mean, we can all be...
Because I think that's also the only thing that they can somewhat string along together, like bits and pieces of what seems to be a coherent thought, you know, to like actively say why it's bad. Because when you think about, nothing else about it really is bad. Like the only difference, biologically speaking, between queer people and like heterosexual people is the fact that like you're attracted to the same gender and you're not. You know what I'm trying to say? Like dating and all that stuff becomes different because the foundation itself is like, oh, all you guys ever do is sex.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And it's also weird that like with this intimacy, because obviously even with the institution of marriage, right? When I think about what people hate about queer people getting married, obviously growing up, you know, when you go to a Catholic school and you hear all these like Puritan talking points about sex and sexuality, obviously they said for a marriage to be valid, it has to be
what a sacred covenant under God,
but it has to be like total, fruitful, and free. The fruitful part, they get hung up on it because obviously a lot of queer...
It's about kids not actually enjoying sex.
Yeah, queer, right, sex.
Yeah.
Because cannot produce babies. But I'm like, let's be real. That's not the only thing that makes marriage such a powerful and important union, I guess.
Yeah.
Like leading a home together. They feel like that's something that should be exclusively.
I mean, it's historically speaking, it's it's literally a social contract.
Exactly.
Like that's quite literally the purpose of marriage. It's like, okay, socially, you and I are now bound.
Yeah, property and otherwise.
And then it started becoming about other things.
Exactly. And so with these other things, the debate is, should we be allowed to enjoy those things? Should we be allowed to enjoy true companionship? Should we be allowed to, I don't know, when you're at your deathbed, should there be a person who's going to sit there and hold your hand?
Can you have the person you've loved your entire life be there without it being
exactly
something?
Should you be allowed to fill a home with love, you and this other person, filled with all the memories you've built? Because I think there's nothing more radical than queer joy. And
because people don't like to see it.
And that's what, and I guess that's what scared me. And so in this journey of like desire and being desired and starting to really position myself. So obviously you go from like the inappropriate sexual stuff and then you actually do meet people who will sexualize you anyway.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
To the point where they can do it to your face.
Exactly.
Which is
like anyway, you know, like obviously I've called it out in myself. Now I'm on the receiving end of it. And then you finally start to see this is not normal. I don't think it is not normal. It is such a dehumanizing thing because I don't know, like, especially online, you know, because we're talking about digital spaces. Especially online, I think the way I've curated my public image, I have a highlight for my books. I have a highlight for my favorite songs.
For the art galleries.
I have all the exhibitions I've worked on.
Essentially being the brightest star.
Yeah, me. And then you swipe up my story and you're like, I want to clap those cheeks. Whoa.
Who are you?
Like, what about...
My thing is, what happened to... what happened to social graces? Like, I think we need to start there. Like, what happened to having simple social graces and just being like, hello, my name is... I find you really interesting. That's it.
Yes.
And let's see from there. Because,
and, you know,
like, this thing of like, oh my God, I need you to do... Like, oh, you know, I posted something on my Twitter and that's another thing that I think we need to clarify is that people are allowed to, like, present themselves in a way that they feel comfortable without the fear of being sexualized, which I think is another thing that a lot of queer people love doing. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like the moment you simply like you're going to the beach, you're literally at the beach, like you're wearing a shirt, you're wearing board shorts,
and it's
oh my God, relax.
That thing is oh my God.
But you know what's crazy? Most of them won't say it to your face. Some of them will, but it's like if you have nothing nice to say, maybe don't say anything at all because you sound dense. Because
even with straight people, right? Literally just yesterday, Mahu literally just posted a photo of herself in a car, and I think she had just finished the workout because she was wearing athleisure, and she was a bit sweaty, and this guy like comments on the picture. You know what they do? The blue check people, they bring an innocent person's content.
The same way they take videos from TikTok and then put them on there so
and they bring them to hell.
Yeah.
And they bring them to hell
for a check.
Yeah, for the devil to eat it up. And they bring it there. And he's like, you know, you can just tell that in the bedroom, she doesn't do anything. She just lays there. And I'm like, but there's nothing inherently sexual about this image. Even if she was
just her existence.
Even if she was literally naked, I don't think there's anything inherently sexual about a naked body.
Yeah.
It's a body. It's a body. It's
true, because if it's inherently sexual, how are you changing your kids?
Thank you. Riddle me that.
Let's talk about it.
You know, someone was like, I hate people who weren't raised by a naked mother, and I understood that that thing so much because I think some people's families, it starts in the home, where nakedness is pedestalized, but in a very scary way, where being naked is like the most exposed thing you could be when nothing is happening. I mean, you're in the bathroom, you're taking a shower, you're just taking a shower. You can't, you know.
Plus, everyone has to get naked.
Yeah, you know. You have to,
unless you shower in clothes, which is just.
You have to use the bathroom. You have to shower. You have
to use the bathroom.
You have to do all these things. You have to change. I don't know, right? But I don't think that there's anything inherently.
You're born naked.
Thank you.
And so it's like, once again, if being naked is inherently sexual, why is that doctor touching your baby?
Exactly.
And how do we ensure that they aren't sexualizing your baby? Because there's no quantified way of doing that.
And that's, I think, also my disconnect with purity culture, because they don't realize that you're avoiding sex conversations by doing a lot of sexualization. Right? You see someone who's wearing pants that accentuate their curves. You talk about their curves and how immoral it is, whereas everyone else just sees a person wearing pants. Exactly.
Like you literally just have clothes on.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many layers to how, obviously, if straight people are doing it from a religious point of view, by the time it gets to queer people, we're toast. We are cooked. We are toast. Cooked. Right? Because I'm like, you see, like, I think I spoke about it briefly in my TikTok where I was like, when black women who are teachers as well, right?
Yes.
And if they're curvier, they're taller.
They're automatically accused of
trying to
entice. But also my thing is, what about someone simply existing as enticing? She's wearing clothes in the body that she happens. But that's, you know what I think is really crazy is that when that does happen, right, especially to teachers, I think the thing that people tend to leave out is the fact that it happens to a lot of black teachers. Also just because black bodies, oh my Lord, they have like been placed. I don't want to say a pedestal because nothing about it is glorifying in any way. If anything,
it's dehumanizing.
It's a 21st century minstrel show.
Exactly. We are the big black beasts. Big black beasts.
And the gay community has a very popular. They love, and it is so weird because it's like, you will be trying to have a conversation with someone naturally and just be like, hi, how are you and stuff, and it's like, show me
the python.
But you know what's so crazy? It's oh my gosh, and it shouldn't even be normal, but you're like
that's like even tame at this point,
right? It feels mundane in comparison to some of the stuff people say.
Those constant, it's uncut and thick. That constant, and it's like you're
with the thingies to like. I've had someone actually do that, like on my Twitter, like where they just quoted my picture and they put it in Korean. They went out of their way to make sure that it wasn't in English, so that like you had to actively, go and like seek out what was being said. And when I read, I was just like, I don't even know you. I've never met you.
This is terrifying.
I'm scared.
And it's exactly what happened to Tobias. So guys, for those of you who have not seen or are aware of this, so there's this Nigerian British content creator, Tobias, and he makes these very lovely vlogs. The ice cream man,
he started talking about ice cream, like he loves pistachio, hazelnut, all that stuff.
Yes. And he has also been very open about his journey, like as a person living with bipolar disorder.
Yes,
like
I relate. Shout out to you, Tobias.
Yes, he makes such beautiful content. It's so harmless. Like, how we have, when men set up a camera, when men touch a mic, we expect the worst.
Yo, like, can we talk about what you bring to the table? Like,
what do you bring to the table? As a man, I'm very boring. Very boring.
Like, what happened to smart conversations?
He doesn't own a table.
No, he doesn't. He
doesn't own a
table. Maybe that's what's saving him.
Maybe
not too much.
Not too much.
Lovely table.
Lovely table.
Love
but
this
like
bread.
Yeah, but like, even so, if he's like talking about what he brings to the table on a podcast, it belongs to the set. Not hell. Come on. Like, it reminds me of that episode of Date My Family where they asked that one guy, he was like, what do you bring to the table? He's like, you guys don't have a table in this house.
But real.
And he was
real.
so real.
Because you don't have a table. It's like, it's this really weird thing where people have conversations, and conversations are good, right? Because they allow for discourse, dialogue, they allow for information to be shared. But it's like, people tend to have conversations about things that have nothing to do with them.
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely.
And that is exactly
nothing. And not for the sake of being informed or informing others, but just because your
lips are moving.
Your mouth is moving like a rat.
Like a rat.
Yappa.
They're moving a lot. And that's exactly what they did to Tobias, because
didn't they start going on to, like, they started sending him pictures on
no.
email?
What they started with the uzofaka, isandla, ephentini, which is something I want to talk about as well.
That's harassment. That's like online
there's
harassment.
Nothing normal about that. Someone. It's
it's not funny.
You know what someone called it? digital voyeurism, where
Yes.
if someone is like doing a get ready with me and we're
Yes.
seeing them in the
Yes.
shower or like whatever,
Yes.
and they're like, "What's the fuck?" Guys, for those of you
Yes.
who do not know what voyeurism is, it's like this: when you get aroused from watching people in situations that you deem sexual without their knowledge, right? So this could be through a peephole, through like a shower door, or if it's like those videos that are set up to be sexual, but the subjects are not aware of it.
Yeah.
And then we're all just like peeking into it. And that is exactly how I feel about those
It's essentially being a peeping Tom, hey?
It is, but online, because you're like, someone is simply existing on the internet. Uzofaka, isandla, ephentini. That is sexual harassment.
It is. You can't even eat ice cream without someone saying,
Could you, right? So they started like that. And then when you started eating the ice cream,
Yeah.
come lick me like you're licking the vanilla, or come lick me off the cone too. And it's like, what are you doing?
You know what I think is really interesting that happens a lot that I wanna say so that people are able to identify it. It's, I don't know if you've realized how men eat bananas.
Yes.
Where they open the banana.
Bananas,
they never
and then-
just eat the banana.
and then
it's
they pull
always,
it out.
And it's like, you're eating a banana.
Like, there is nothing sexual about
Why are you
eating.
so freaked out? Like, even Kevin Gates isn't this freaked out. No, listen, it really gets to a point where it's just like, when you can't even get your potassium intake up because someone is like, like, y'all need help. Everyone needs help because no one is normal, but there is no reason why I can't. Guys, it's so frustrating, right? Because it leads into things like homophobia and stuff. It's like people start calling you gay, and it's like, I just ate a banana the way the monkeys do it. Right. So. No, why are we laughing? Because exactly. Hold on. The way the primates do it, right? And it's just like, you're literally having a banana.
Like, exactly.
Have your banana and go home.
To enjoy the banana.
Like,
and then they go from there, and
it just gets
and then
worse
2,000
and worse
2,000 South African gay men follow him.
Yep.
150 of them, right?
Yes, it was 150.
Sent unsolicited nudes via email. With some of them.
Can I just acknowledge? Do you know how hard it is to find someone's email address and then go and be like, yeah, ngifakis tombela. You know, you have to actively go from, unless you're doing it with the phone, which
and
most people,
it even does the will send once attachment.
Like once attached, like you actively wait for those 5 MBs to load, and then you go, yeah.
So you had so much time to just
think about that and be like, okay, this is weird.
Between searching for the email, typing it in, subject line, yours, looking for the
and
attachment.
pressing send. Just sit there and just be like, this is weird because
and even
I don't know this
when
person.
Gmail gives you that, when Gmail gives you that grace to unsend within, is it a few minutes?
Yeah. Still didn't do that.
You had so much time to just not do that.
You let the email fly.
You let it go. And then 149 other people followed in your steps. But you know what? You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking
it speaks to culture, though.
I'm thinking it's not even 150 of them. I'm thinking one probably did like 30, even 20. People, but that's because we've normalized this peeping Tom culture, and especially amongst queer men on the internet.
Yep.
This peeping Tom culture. We've normalized it. We've made it a norm. Like, you know what? And it's what?
Take it out. It's hurting.
Take it out.
That's all I need to say. That's quite literally.
That's why I couldn't stand that Kipi challenge where you had to dry hump the screen. I was like, this is not normal.
We need to fix your FYP.
No. It appeared on my FYP once, relax.
Oh, okay.
And it appeared because someone was criticizing it.
Thank
the Lord.
Yeah, critical thoughts. The kids are thinking.
No, it appeared on my FYP because someone was like, this is so weird. Because someone was like, you guys do realize that majority of the men, majority of the men participating in this are teenage boys. They're not even men.
They are young. And it's like, put aside the fact that they're teenage boys, which is already just that enters an entirely different stratosphere of problems, right? It's just like, simply put, these are human beings who are simply existing. But then again, I don't think there should be things like keep challenges on TikTok. Guys, children are on TikTok. If you want to exercise your sexual liberation, because once again, there's nothing wrong with being sexually liberated. Time and place. And you did it at my birthday dinner. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, read the room. read the comments, read. The kids don't read.
Read the label on the scented candle. Read a receipt.
Lemongrass.
Exactly.
Right.
Read the brand of this mic. I don't know. Read.
I can't see.
Read something, man.
Something.
And it's just it's weird. It's so weird.
It really is weird.
And he was so like freaked out because not freaked out like them, but like actually freaked out because
it was very concerning for him.
Because he had to block like so many South Africans. He literally said if a South African leaves a comment in Zulu, whatever, utlo block. And wale lie because why are you doing that? Because why are you doing that? And it's so. But also, can I say something about that as well? Something else about that is that I think it also has people feeling pressured to present themselves as very sexual because they don't think, back to what we said right at the beginning, that they will not find a connection with another human being unless the tone is set sexually, right? Mm-hmm.
I think it almost becomes this really weird thing of like the only way to really be queer is to be sexual. Yeah, I'm trying to say. And it's weird because you look at how asexual people are treated.
Exactly.
Perfect example.
Yes.
Perfect example. And again, you know, while you're obviously responsible for how you present yourself and all that stuff, and like that sits on you, I think it is also just important to acknowledge that like this really does start with that first encounter you have with not just queerness, but I think queerness when it pertains to you as a person. You know what I'm trying to say? Because it's like, I think, take you for example.
Yeah.
You're very well adjusted, and that's because I know your mother, and your mother, she don't play. And I'm trying to say, like, that's a black mom. Like, hey, don't start stories here. So it's just like,
she's like, guys, literally, guys,
please,
guys, on Sunday I broke up with someone, right? And my mom,
what did she say?
My mom was so irritated. She was like, why? Why were you doing that to
in the first place?
She was like, why were you doing? My mom does not like rubbish.
At all.
She does not entertain.
At all.
You know, just snacks.
But no, it really does. I think, again, to my point, it really does like speak to that first encounter you have with queerness. And I think what's unique for us is that because we both went to boarding school, and so it's like...
Oh my God.
Oh. Yeah. But no, in all seriousness, like it's I think because it's I'm still queer. No, stop. Okay, so it's like, you know, because in boarding school, you kind of learn everything there. You learn about your body there, not just through textbooks, but like through living with people who are around your age, and have that same body that
and
you have.
Stink. Oh my gosh! Like there was this one. He brushed his teeth every 3 weeks. He stank so bad.
Oh, he stank!
And he was my roommate. Oh my God, he stank!
Oh my goodness! I'm sorry you had to go through that. But you know what I think is really crazy?
Yeah.
That person was probably more accepted for their disgusting hygiene than you were for simply being queer.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Right. That's the beauty of it.
Because it's the dream. Mm-hmm. It really is. It's the dream. I'm feeling my existence. No. But yeah, I think, you know, like when you, and it's so weird because it's a really unique opportunity to fully understand who you are pertaining to your gender identity, your everything, right? Because you exist in a vacuum where it's literally just you and everyone who is quote unquote allegedly.
Allegedly.
Right, allegedly.
And in my case, it was even worse because I was the only one for like
a while.
And then one more person. Then one more person. Yeah. And that was it.
And what I think is really crazy though as well, I think it's also really interesting. And I think a part of why queer people, and queer men especially, end up just naturally, or not, well, yes, naturally thinking that it makes sense to, you know, be sexual all the time and talk about things and you know and stuff like that. I think it's also just because a lot of the first encounters with the act of intimacy and sex, even with non-queer people, tend to start off in a sexual way. Like think about the amount of sexual innuendos that someone has, like, you know, essentially presented towards you, and even just in boarding school, you know, like when it pertains to talking about your sexuality, it's like one will be homophobic, the other will be homophobic, but also still in a really weird way, coming back to today's topic, desire you.
Exactly.
Because they don't have to commit.
Because the thing is, this very weird thing happened to me, Matrick, where there was this weird boy, right? He was so weird, guys. Like, he was so weird.
Aren't all boys weird?
I mean, he was the weirdest. And he made up a very weird lie, right? So what he what he did was, he would go to the bathroom, take a shower at night, and then come to, because in Matrick, you all get like single dorms. You don't share anymore.
Yeah, you don't share
and
anymore.
he would come to my dorm in like a towel or whatever. And it made me really uncomfortable.
I remember this.
And then I told someone that I felt very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But because,
understandably so.
Because again, I was living through this guilt of everything I do and say being sexualized. Yeah. I was like, I didn't know how to approach it and ask him to like, hey, this
cover
is making
yourself up.
Because it would
because
imply
then it automatically becomes of why are you looking?
But I'm
it's
aroused.
Like,
I'm looking.
sure
but I'm just not. This is not. No, as I said,
it shifts. It
not normal.
It shifts the blame onto you, which is a very common thing whenever sex is a topic, whether it be sexual assault, trigger warning, the act of sex itself.
And I was like, I'm like, this is not normal. I tell someone else, and then a few months down the line, I hear a rumor that he has framed it as, I told this other person that he asked me for sex and I said no. And I'm like, you see? So I was right by saying this is very weird. Yeah. But because I'm a queer person, you just think that's... I was uncomfortable because you are literally naked. I am 17. You're in my room. I'm trying to eat a cake from Woolworths. You're doing it in front of my cake. Like, get out.
Get out.
Please. Get out.
I'm just trying to have my cake in peace. I don't know. I think about myself sometimes, and like when I think about my dating experience, which has been poor thus far, and that's all shade to everyone. There is this. The most common trend in it is that my dating life, truthfully, started, I think, once I became quote unquote conventionally attractive in our community, right? And it's like
same thing
that
for
in
me.
Itself. People then automatically, number one, assume you're a sexual being. And it's like, guys, I've never even held hands with someone intimately. And all of a sudden you think I'm doing jumping jacks on the... You know, it's so...
jumping jacks?
What?
Blocked.
Right. Because why am I yelling? Right. And it's just, it's so crazy because for me, that's how it started, right? And it's like, I think the sad thing is that that's still how it is now. I think it really takes a while. Like, you actively have to remove yourself from spaces where you can be sexualized, which is hard because guess what? You can be sexualized sitting like this.
In a digital
We've seen the TikTok
space.
edits. We've seen that where, you know, someone just goes and then all of a sudden it's like...
Digital voyeurism. But yes.
And so it's like, even now... I don't think I can ever really have normal conversations with people where it doesn't suddenly become like, what you got? And it's like, hi, bo, you haven't even asked to take me to coffee.
Exactly.
Like, we don't, and you know, I appreciate the internet because it's allowed for people to, it's like, it's become a vast wealth of knowledge, information, communication, community. But it's like, at the same time, because obviously there's downsides to everything, especially when it comes to being queer, it's very like isolating, because it's like, in order for you to participate in the digital queer community, people expect you to pop, you know, like they expect you to it is so strange that like you can't really even just simply exist and like, I guess, even figure yourself out sexually without, you know, people feeling the need to do it for you, which is sad coming from queer people, because that's what queerness is in essence. It's having people figure stuff out for you before you even get to say anything. You know, it's like, oh, you talk like this. You're a girl or a boy. You don't know me.
I don't know you.
And even if you did, you don't pay for my bills. You don't sit in my mind. I don't know you like that, right? But it's like, obviously, because we as humans are social beings who thrive off of interaction, right? To the point where we're able to pick up the smallest nuances in someone's facial expression and determining what that means just in terms of where we are as people and whatnot, and like our interpersonal relationships. It's like, obviously that's going to, you know, inform how you view yourself, how you view your body, how you view the bodies of people around you, how you like people to view your body. Like it. Oh. Wow.
I feel like
what a chat.
What a chat for real. I feel like we could, if it were up to me, Bandile and I would talk for 5 more hours. Which we usually do.
We do.
But
we get into
because
this.
of the YouTube and the format, this is, I guess, where our conversation comes to an end for now.
For now.
We will have Bandile back. Don't worry.
I will be back.
We will be back.
No, what does he say? I'll be back.
Mm-hmm. Because I think this is such a nuanced and layered conversation.
And it's developing as technology. With the rise of AI too, actually, I think it's very scary because now people can generate
sexual images of you.
With your likeness. The law needs to do something about that very quickly.
Exactly.
Something needs to be done about that because it's like there is no reason why that man had to come on TikTok and plead for people to stop sending him weird thingies. And it's really sad. And shame.
And also stop feeding AI your personal
Please
information.
stop.
Because it's getting better at replicating human features.
Right.
At some point, AI generated
the therapy sessions need to stop with the AI. Go find a therapist.
Exactly like this. The next AI generated image you're going to see is going to look exactly
Literally
like me.
Talking like you.
Someone is going to generate this episode themselves on their phone. So, yes, guys. I think that's all for today.
That really is all for today.
For today.
But not forever.
Not forever. Not for the week. Not for today.
Yeah.
You know?
For now.
I think be very mindful of, I guess.
Be mindful.
Be mindful. Be aware.
Yeah.
Don't be scared of it, baby.
Don't be obtuse.
Be aware of it, baby.
And as for the weather today, don't be dense.
Yeah.
Because no one likes a dense cake.
Don't. Please don't.
Unless it's bun cake.
And isandla ephentini.
No, I'm not going to.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Because if you can't even have that with your mother, who you know, who am I?
Yeah.
That'd be weird.
Anyway, thank you, Bandile, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being our first guest.
Thank you. I actually feel so honored because like I watched all of this happen, like from the first it's always, friend, I have something to say. Like anyone who knows it's friend, did you hear? And then, we're talking, we're informed, we're learning, which is good because the kids don't read.
Yes. So I'm glad you came.
Thank you for having me.
This was so fun.
It really was.
I love this. And I love the fact that it wasn't so sterile and like static. I'm just happy that it got to flow naturally. Flow. Yeah. I'm just happy to have you here.
No, thank you for having me.
And I can't wait to have you back soon.
Almost definitely.
And next week, we're going to have a very special episode. For context, just a little teaser so I can get you guys warmed up. September is Children's Cancer Awareness Month, and next week's episode is going to focus on that. So do your reading, read up in advance, get to know, be informed.
Even if it's a page.
Come with questions to the comments. Engage. Be ready to learn. You know, I think
this is a space. This is a soft space for
hard conversations.
Oh yes.
So please. See you next week.
Bye.
On Young, Popular and Opinionated at 3. And guys, the editor must actually put this out. Guys, I'm sitting here on this couch.
Yes.
There's a mic in my face.
Yes.
Why do people think this is like an elevated set from my bedroom? And people comment, you know, if you had a podcast, I would listen to it. This is the podcast.
You know what it is?
This is the podcast.
Children don't read the title.
Please read my captions, read my comments. This is Young, Popular and Opinionated. Your favorite podcast. See you next Tuesday at 3. Bye.
Bye.